Look up at the cosmos, and you're watching the unyielding machinery of time at work. Every star that ignites and every planet that decays operates under one singular law. The universe expands and collapses on a strict, unavoidable schedule. Even the creator gods exist within this cycle. But that reality conceals a question ancient sages often feared to ask. If time governs every atom of existence, what force governs time, and where does it go when it rests? This mind map outlines the anatomy of that exact mystery. At the center is Akaal Mandal, the realm where time cannot reach, and the central mystery of how a living being might actually step inside it. To find the resting place of time, a seeker has to defy the fundamental rules that keep the universe from dissolving into nothing. On the next branch of our map, we meet the only human in Vedic lore who ever attempted this. Sage Pippalada was an ascetic who sat in a single meditation for 10,000 years, fueled by the dangerous curiosity of his own existence. He finally broke his silence to ask the creator god, Brahma, where time goes when it is no longer moving. It was a question that forced the cosmic throne into a sudden, heavy pause. Brahma didn't offer a map or an explanation. Instead, he gave Pippalada a single direction. He told the sage to walk toward the place where his own shadow disappears. This instruction forced Pippalada into an expedition with no landmarks. To reach the edge of existence, he would have to walk until he stood entirely outside his own physical context. Pippalada left the known world behind. He passed through ancient forests where the trees no longer grew toward the sun, and he climbed mountains where the clouds beneath him had turned to solid stone. Eventually, the logic of his environment began to unravel. He crossed deserts where the dunes were composed of crushed time, the granular remains of moments that had already turned to dust. The momentum of the universe started to drag. Birds locked in mid-flight. Cascading waterfalls hung suspended midair, appearing like jagged glass. Even his own heartbeat slowed to a deep, echoing rhythm. He stopped. He looked down at the ground and saw that his shadow was gone. He had arrived at the outer boundary of Brahma's creation. Our map marks this transition clearly. This is the point where the journey ends and the nature of Akaal Mandal begins. The edge of the universe is defined by a complete absence of movement. Standing in that void, Pippalada found no color and no sound. The space lacked a boundary, yet it didn't feel infinite, because infinity still implies a direction to travel. It was simply empty. This visualization shows the mechanics of what he discovered. These pulsating spheres represent universes birthed and dissolve in a cycle. Akaal Mandal is the static gap between them, the literal pause between one cosmos dying and the next breathing into life. Within that total stillness, Pippalada realized his breath had stopped. He was still alive. Because time did not exist here, the laws of karma and cause and effect could no longer reach him. This is the danger Brahma never spoke aloud. This realm is so complete and perfect that the flawed, ticking world outside becomes impossible to return to. What saved him was a fleeting memory of the human world, the laugh of his aging, imperfect guru. In a space where nothing changes, a single tear fell from Pippalada's eye, creating a ripple in the vacuum. Human love is the only force capable of piercing the realm beyond time. That single drop of grief acted as an anchor, pulling him back toward reality. Pippalada followed the trail of his own tear. He walked back through the static landscapes, through the frozen waterfalls, and back into the flow of time. The return branch on our map shows the heavy cost of this crossing. When he reached his starting point, 10,000 years had passed. His ashram, his followers, and the guru he wept for had all turned to dust. Pippalada sat beneath a tree and did not speak a word for 40 years. Returning from the edge of reality leaves a person detached from the urgency of the physical world. When you have stood in a place without time, the ticking of the clock no longer feels like a threat. Eventually, a new generation of students sought him out, begging to know what he saw. They wanted to know the physical coordinates of the place where time stops. The final branch of the mind map reveals the truth Pippalada finally shared. Akaal Mandal is an intimate, internal state of being. He told his students he found the pause between their heartbeats. He found the silence between their words and the space that exists in the fraction of a second before a new thought is born. The gods cannot enter this space because they are too busy maintaining the universe. They are defined by their constant action, while this realm is defined by the absence of it. The ultimate truth is found by stopping the search for the edge of the universe and finding the quiet space within your very